right, so now that you've got your stock rolling, you've got your noodles in the fridge ready for tomorrow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building our chashu. So chashu is pork belly. What we wanna do is we wanna make sure that we have a skin off pork belly like I do here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually just roll. So essentially, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go all the way up until we can kind of see where we wanna cut. We don't wanna go too thick. This is gonna be really hard to roll. We wanna go probably right up to here. So we're gonna take our knife, we're gonna cut right down the line here. Now you can always save this. This is really nice to actually just kind of cut into little rectangles here. We can braise it alongside with the chashu. So we'll keep this aside. And then we're gonna just roll. So now that we've got our nice chashu roll, we're gonna grab our butcher's twine and we're gonna go right under. We're gonna do our first knot. Now there's a couple ways you can truss it. You could just do, if you're not comfortable doing the loops, you can just keep doing a tie just like this all the way down. That's just fine as well. But I'll show you. So now that it's nice and tight, we're just gonna put our finger here, we're gonna roll it around, and then we're gonna go right under. And we're gonna pull. That's why it's nice to have this loose. We can kind of just bunch it up for now and pull it all the way through. I have a little too much string here, but that's okay. And then we're gonna pull tight. And we're gonna do the same thing again. So finger around, twine through, and we're going to pull tight. We're going to keep going all the way down, making sure that you're nice and even as you're going, nice even spacing. This little end bit we can kind of just cut off and we can braise alongside of this belly here just to keep it nice and neat and organized. And then what I like to do is I flip it and then I do the same on the other side. But as I'm going, what this does is just kind of helps the cook on the other side just to be a little bit more even as well. Making sure we've got it all nice and organized. We're going to flip it around to the end here. Got a little bit extra. Sometimes it's a little hard to gauge. Put that off to the side for now. And then we'll finish with our tie. Now butcher's twine is food safe. This can go right into the stock. Usually use this with bouquet garni as well. So we've got our chashu nice and tight, okay? So we're gonna go right in with our stock and we're just gonna put it right in. Now we can use some tongs as well. Sometimes there's bones that kind of sit at the bottom of the stock. We just wanna move those out of the way so that that pork belly can get right down into the base. So we're gonna cook that for about 3 to 4 hours. Again, you can actually just let this sit and simmer overnight. It's just fine. Just making sure that you're very, very gentle and careful when you're lifting it out. And then we're gonna put it onto a tray and let it cool. So I've got a couple common garnishes here. My kombu and bonito. This is what we're gonna finish the stock with. We're gonna finish probably running it for about 30 minutes with this in it. I've also got some finishing garnishes here. So I have ajitama. Ajitama is a soy cured egg. I've also gone ahead and toasted off some sesame seeds, cut off some nori sheets, and I've also thinly sliced some scallion here and kept it in ice water. Now these are some other kind of standard market things that you can grab at any Japanese market or Korean market. So I've got furikake here. We have togarashi, so this is kind of a chili blend. This is also kind of if you want to make it a red ramen. So for starters, I've gone ahead and I've strained my ramen broth from yesterday. And what we want to do is we want to add our bonito. So we're going to put our bonito and our kombu in. Again, very gentle simmer. So we're going to let this cook for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to strain it one last time, bring it to a rolling boil, and it'll be ready for our ramen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our noodle water up to a boil. And while that goes, we're going to get our chashu into our pan. And as we're searing our chashu, We want to start to bring our stock back into a rolling boil. We want to really make sure that we're emulsifying those fats. And then we also want to make sure that our noodle water is ready to go, because this is a very quick process to make sure that this stays emulsified. We've got our chashu nice and seared. We're going to put this off to the side for a second. We're going to bring our noodle water to the front. Now this is a very quick process. What we want to make sure is right when we dunk the noodles in, we move our stock over and get ready to serve it, making sure that we're moving these noodles around and they're not turning into a large clump. The second they start to float, they're going to be ready, okay? So while the noodles are cooking, we're going to start plating up our ramen. We're adding our broth straight to the bowl. And what we're going to do is we're just going to gently whisk that miso, making sure that we're breaking down all those little chunks of miso. So our broth is ready for our noodles. Our noodles are nice and cooked now. All right, and then we can start garnishing. We have our chashu. And then we're going to grab our ajitama. Just be very gentle when we cut these. Nice jammy yolk inside. Usually they have these at the store, or you can make them on your own. And then we've also got our scallion here. Do a little bit of sesame oil. Finish the egg off with some togarashi. And then we've got our nori. And lastly, our sesame. Again, there's hundreds of different garnishes you can use for your ramen. These are some of my favorites, and this is how I like to do my ramen. Thanks for tuning in to KartTV. I'm Nils Schneider, and this is my favorite way of doing a standard ramen.